This is 5 on your side at noon. Focused on you.
We begin at noon with breaking news out of Washington County, where a 10-year-old girl is dead after a single-car crash. It happened about 3.5 hours ago on Highway 21 north of Furnace Creek Road. That's just south of Potosi. The Missouri Highway Patrol tells us the driver was southbound on Highway 21 when he lost control on a curve and struck a tree. The driver and 3 other children who were inside the car have what are described as serious injuries. Investigators say it appears everyone in the car was wearing a seatbelt. Also breaking right now, we're learning about an accident off I-44 and 141. A state trooper was helping out a stranded driver when his patrol car was hit. The trooper was not in the car at the time of the crash. The Missouri State Highway Patrol says no one was hit and there were no injuries. This morning, President Biden postponed a trip to Colorado for what the White House is calling national security meetings. This after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu invited the president to visit the war-torn country. And the FBI has called for enhanced security around Muslim and Jewish institutions. Thanks so much for being here at noon. I'm Kay Quinn. Violence linked to unrest in the Middle East is believed to have sparked an attack in Wills County, Illinois. That's just southwest of Chicago. An Illinois man faces murder and attempted murder charges for what's being called a hate crime against a Muslim woman and her son. NBC's Stephanie Gosk takes a closer look at the investigation and heightened security across the country.
This morning, rising safety concerns here in the U.S.
There's no question we're seeing an increase in reported threats.
FBI Director Christopher Wray asking for vigilance, warning Hamas and other groups could exploit the conflict in the Middle East to plot attacks here in the United States, while concerns rise that anger here at home may be spilling into violence. In Illinois, a Palestinian-American boy is dead and his mother is in serious condition. Police say a landlord repeatedly stabbed the Muslim family renting his home in a deadly attack related to the Israel-Hamas war. 6-year-old Wadia Al-Fayumi was killed.
The female's claiming that the landlord has the child in another room and apparently is either stabbing or has stabbed the child.
71-year-old Joseph Zuba is now behind bars, facing murder and hate crime charges. For Wadia's father and cousin, the grief is overwhelming.
Wadia was such an intelligent boy. He was a sweetheart. He loved his iPad. He loved games. He loved watching like cartoons. He was our world.
He's like a dream. I still didn't believe my son is gone.
It comes as law enforcement nationwide has stepped up security at Jewish places of worship.
There's a lot of fear. There's fear now more than ever since the Holocaust.
Since Hamas terrorists attacked Israel more than a week ago, reports of anti-Semitic incidents have spiked nearly 300% compared to the same week last year, according to the Anti-Defamation League. Over the weekend, tens of thousands rallied in cities from coast to coast, holding solidarity marches and vigils for the victims in Israel.
We are protesting. We're walking proudly with the Star of David.
Pro-Palestinian supporters also taking to the streets. Marchers in Atlanta demanding an end to the violence.
We want to stop this.
That was Stephanie Gosk reporting. St. Louis is among the cities where Israel and Palestinian supporters rallied for peace this weekend. Hundreds gathered at Keener Plaza in support of Palestinians yesterday afternoon. Several groups were present, and they called for a ceasefire and safe passage out of the region for civilians. Earlier on Sunday, support for Israel posters filled the outside of the St. Louis Jewish Federation as many gathered for a pro-Israel rally. Posters with the faces of Jewish people missing in the war covered the trees. Both groups say they just want peace because they're in pain.
It's a mix of a lot of things, especially for us living here. It's just like fear for our relatives that live overseas, and then it's also, just the anguish and pain that we see from the images.
This stuff that cannot happen in the world anymore, It's happened to us, it may happen to other people. We are people, we are in 2023. Stuff like this didn't even happen in the Holocaust, I'm devastated. My heart is bleeding.
Organizers at both rallies called on elected officials, including President Biden, to help in their time of need. We have much more on the war on KSDK.com. Just text the word Israel to 314-425-5355 and we'll text you the link.
12:05, it's sunny outside, but once again, it's cool. We start off feeling more like fall as we really transition. It feels like the leaves have significantly changed over the last few days, and part of that may have to do with the weather, some of these cooler nights, but also we're working our way further into the month of October. More sunshine, though, than yesterday. Temperatures start off, though, at 42 in the city even. Other spots in the upper 30s, and a lot of the reason that we saw that was the clouds still remained. We had enough wind, so it was pretty uniform in terms of temperatures falling, but there's some of that color here downtown as well as temps go up to 59. We got a northwest breeze at 9 miles an hour right now, and for the most part over the next few days, we got a steady dose of fall. There's still no significant freeze, but we got more late week rain on the way. And, for the most part, that's what we're going to track for you. The rest of the evening, though, temps low 60s, and then once again, calming down. We'll talk about how cool it gets tonight and also monitor a minor warming trend here in the short term.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you, Gary. Right now, Tillman Elementary in the Kirkwood School District is closed. Classes were canceled after shots were fired outside North Kirkwood Middle School last night at a trunk-or-treat event for Tillman families. 5 on Your Side's Alex Fees tells us what happened.
The frightening incident Sunday evening no doubt sent parents and their children scrambling for cover. Now, to be clear, this involved families from Tillman Elementary School behind me. That's why Tillman is closed today. However, it happened in the parking lot of North Kirkwood Middle School. That's where these families had gathered Sunday for their trunk or treat event. No one was hit by that gunfire. Multiple sources tell 5 on Your Side the person who fired those shots is a St. Louis County police officer. However, St. Louis County police officials last night would not confirm that.
I was grilling, I live right next to the school. So I was talking to my brother-in-law, and then we hear pop, 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 pop. And I'm going, what's that? And then we hear it again, pop, 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 pop.
That's what neighbor Pepe Saldana says he heard Sunday evening. Kirkwood police say parents confronted a person for being disruptive at the school event just before 5 o'clock Sunday. The person then allegedly used a handgun to fire shots into the air and was tackled and detained by other people at that event. Saldana says he knew the trick or trunk event was happening in the parking lot and rushed over. He saw parents running and screaming and children crying. Police and school district officials say the man who fired the shots was tackled and detained until police got there.
Our staff, our students, and our families were not hurt, but we know that there are certainly a lot of traumatic scars that are going to be there, and so our focus right now is focusing on getting counselors, social workers, and other staff available to those teams. We'll be communicating directly with them soon about how they can access those so that we can make sure that we have supports for our families and staff.
Kirkwood School District officials posted this message on Facebook last night. It reads, "Our building will be open from 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday for anyone who needs an opportunity to gather and receive support from counselors or social workers. We will be working this evening to ensure resources are available for anyone who needs them." Now, mental health experts say when it comes to talking to your children about this event or the likelihood, the possibility of violence at their schools, it is important to confirm and validate their feelings and their concerns and to basically convey to them that many adults are working on their behalf to prevent this type of thing from happening. In Kirkwood, Alex Fees, 5 on Your Side.
As we kick off the week, here are 3 things to keep on your radar. Wednesday, Union Station is making Domestic Violence Awareness Month by turning the wheel purple. They'll mark that with this here. Law enforcement and YMCA staff will be there from 5:30 to 7. They'll address the problem of domestic violence and ways we can work together to support survivors as advocates and allies. Later this week, St. Louis Mayor Tashora Jones will join more than 500 mayors in our nation's capital for Bloomberg City Lab 2023. It's an event designed to address the challenges cities face regarding climate, infrastructure, mental health, and more. They'll explore new ideas that are being pressure tested right now and could impact our future. That event will run Wednesday to Friday. Actor Jason Momoa heading to St. Louis to promote his new vodka, Mei Lee. You can see the Aquaman star tomorrow at the Schnuck store on Manchester Road in De Pere from 4:30 to 6 p.m. On Wednesday, he's stopping by the Deerbergs on Watson Road in Crestwood at 10 in the morning. Then later in the afternoon, he's at Total Wine and More on Clarkson Road in Chesterfield. He'll be there from 2 p.m. until 3:30. Tensions in the Middle East are rising. Coming up, how the Israel-Hamas war could affect how much you pay the next time you're at the pump. Pressure continues to mount on Republicans to elect a new House Speaker. Coming up, what it would take to approve the current GOP nominee.